Hi, my name is Shayla Walker, and I work for the Office of Community Engagement, which is under the VP External portfolio. And within that office, I am a program manager of two funding programs, the Community University Engagement Support Fund, which we call CUES for short, and the Partnership Recognition and Exploration Fund, which we call PRE for short. The Community University Engagement Support Fund offers grants up to $25,000 to support reciprocal community university partnerships. The fund runs on an annual basis, and there's a two-step process to applying to the fund. The first step is submitting a note. All applicants have to submit a notice of intent to confirm their eligibility. And then the full applications are due at the end of November. People that are accessing this fund are typically looking to launch or scale a project, and the timelines for the CUES projects usually run between 12 to 18 months. The pre-fund, on the other hand, offers grants up to $1,500 to fill small gaps in community university projects, or to test out a new idea or a new relationship before applying to the larger CUES fund. People that are accessing this fund are typically using it for things like paying community honoraria or travel for community meetings. And the timelines for the pre-projects are usually on the shorter side, typically between 6 months and under. So projects to both funds are incredibly varied. So I'll be maybe more general in how I describe them, but we've supported a lot of Indigenous language revitalization and resurgence projects. We've supported a number of patient-engaged projects in the health and medical fields. We have a really cool project that's currently running that is based out of Vancouver's downtown east side. That project offers pet clinics for pets in needs, and those clinics they serve as a bridge to connect with pet owners and match them up with human health services. Other projects are more arts-based. We have one that's focused on Afrofuturism and the Black speculative arts movement. We have projects that are focused on mitigating climate change, so supporting a number of projects that are Indigenous-led wildfire management, other projects that are integrating Indigenous and Western science to tackle things like fisheries management. Yeah, so there's a broad range of projects and activities that are supported from the funds. But I think one thing that kind of underlies a lot of them is that they're responding to community identified needs in some way or another. And I think another element that is common along a lot of these projects is that of friendship. It's people that are coming together, bringing their shared knowledge and expertise, and who really value that in the other person or organization or community. And yeah, it's just friends coming together to work on an issue and make their little corner of the world a little bit more accessible, a little bit more inclusive, and really just a better place. I would say plan ahead as much as possible. I think it's really important to have a clear, identified community priority or need that you're addressing. And so being able to take the time to get to know one another before you're applying to the fund, know how you work well together. I think being able to really clearly explain what the community issue or project is, like the community identified need or priority is really important. And being able to talk about like why it's you that's coming to the project. What are the two people that are working on the project? Like, what are you bringing to the project? Be it lived experience, subject matter expertise. Why is it you that's working on this project? I think that's really important to kind of be able to tell the why and the how of what's bringing you to the work. I recommend to be flexible. I think we all have deadlines, much of which are self-imposed, but your timeline is not always going to align up with the community priority. So building in flexibility within your own work plan, I think goes a really long way Be transparent. That's something that I really learned when I first started at UBC, coming from a smaller organization to a huge institution like UBC. I kind of forgot how long things could take to kind of make their way through the system. So being able to be clear and kind of set expectations around how long grant payments might take or honoraria payments, I think it's really important to be transparent and let your partners know so that they can better plan their work and when they're paying their invoices and whatnot. Back to the flexibility piece. In terms of reporting, if you are able to accommodate different formats of reporting, I think that's really important. If you can waive it altogether, that's even better. I know that's a big movement in the trust-based philanthropy world. But if you do require reporting on your end, I think it's really important to be flexible in the formats that you're accepting. So for example, we have a little form that we ask people to fill out to identify whether they want to submit a written report or do an interview or maybe a site visit. And one format that I'm really excited about is that of like a face-to-face conversation, which we've recently started turning those into podcasts. And that's been a really great tool because the lessons learned and the tips that are shared within those conversations, they're able to be shared more widely, and they're not just sitting in like a reporting form in a database. And I guess I just really want to underscore that because one of the podcast participants that we had interviewed within our team had noted that they really appreciated that process and they felt a sense of community throughout it and that it wasn't administratively exhausting, which I thought was I was just so happy to hear that because that's something that our team really strives for, is to kind of take away the heavy lifting from our grant recipients so that they can really focus on the work that they're doing and not on like a grant deliverable. And so being flexible really paid off for us because now we have this great tool for knowledge mobilization, and the community walks away, the partnership walks away with like an asset that they have to share about their work more widely and talk about their work in their own voices. If you'd like to learn more about our funding programs, you can learn more at communityengagement.ubc.ca. And if you'd like to reach me personally, I can be reached at shayla.walker@ubc.ca.